Okay, the word on the street is I am live. So welcome to the weekly GuitarCollection.com live stream. I am so happy to be doing this today. Yesterday was actually my birthday. And now I get to have some fun and present some guitars. I played almost no guitar yesterday, if you can believe it. But I did play some late at night, which was nice. Shipped out a lot of guitars yesterday, and some folks are patiently waiting for their instruments to arrive today. So, hi, thank you so much, Dennis. Dennis says happy birthday. Thanks. Hey, thanks so much, Aficionado Lure Company. What can I call you instead of that long name? I'm going to call you Lure for now. You're always here. Yeah, so today I'm going to try something new. And I'm going to show you 5 guitars. And my strategy here is to try to make a video after this of like recent arrivals every week. I did one of those recent arrival videos and it was like very well received. However, it took so much extra time since it was like a different day of the week than the live stream. So I'm going to try to be much quicker here and not spend like 30 minutes on every guitar. I think it gets a little bit too... long per instrument, and it'll keep things a little bit more interesting since you'll see 5 guitars today. So if you're coming here from the Instagram post or Facebook post that I made, I only mentioned 3, so I added 2 more here. All of them have nice strings on them. None of them are rusty or anything like that. So I'll be happy to start up here in just a moment. Hi, Vincenzo from Italy. Hey, thank you so much for the belated birthday wishes. Thanks. Yeah, yesterday was my birthday. Had a lot of fun. I had some friends over. I did everything that I liked. I shipped out guitars. That was actually hard. There's 5 instruments I had to pack up. And had some good food, some good coffee. It was a nice day. There's a place here in Austin called Proud Mary's, and it's so good. It's the best coffee experience I've ever had. I'm a coffee nerd. I roast my own coffee and all this stuff, but it's really great there. It's really good, and their food's really good too. Making me hungry here. All right, we'll get started here in just a second. I saw quite a few of you here queued up before the stream started, and yeah, so we'll be going through today just a brief overview. While you know what, I'm going to use this moment to tune the guitars too. The first guitar is going to be the Stephen Walter guitar from 2023. It's really nice. This one has a slightly wider string spacing than normal. It's a 44 millimeter string spacing as opposed to normal 42. And it's a 53 millimeter nut width, which is just 1 millimeter bigger than standard, but really great. There's a lot of room between strings. And this thing's opened up for 2 years now. It sounds huge. After this Walter, I'm going to be showing you this Dieter Müller from Germany, the famous Doubletop maker. This is from the year 2025. This thing is basically brand new. There's a couple of small scratches in the top, literally 2 small scratches in the top that of course could be polished out if you ever wanted them to be. But other than that, it is in brand new condition. The back and sides are Wenge, Scheller tuners. This thing is a powerhouse, man. Oh, okay, we'll get to more on that guitar. There is a Jose Vigil, which I hope I'm saying that correctly. Vigil? Spanish luthier from Granada, a very hyped up luthier in the Granada area, and this was the first time I've ever played one of his instruments, so it's very exciting. The craftsmanship and detail and smell of this guitar is incredible. It's just spruce and Indian rosewood, but it smells so good. But anyways, this rosette here is something else. I'm not even sure if you can see in the stream, but there is so much detail. Lots of little tiny details in that rosette that I really like. It's lots of layers. There's these little black these little light tan colored lines that divide each up of the layers of the rosette. You can see there. Really nice. And this thing is sounding incredible. I mean, like I said, I'm going to harness this opportunity to tune the guitars. They all have pretty fresh strings on them. None are brand new strings, which is good. They're not going to go terribly out of tune. Super Spanish sound of this. Really nice Spanish guitar, brand new condition, literally no marks on this at all. 2024 Granada. After that, I will show you this Vicente Carrillo. This is the Maestro NX model. So it's a double top. It's Carrillo, it's a Spanish guitar, but it was supervised by Gernot Wagner. So, you know, it's gonna have a Nomex double top in between the two layers, but it's got a lot of volume, still maintains a really nice traditional sound. I think that makes it appealing for a lot of people. And if the sound doesn't make it appealing, look at that maple back and sides. This quilted maple here is just spectacular. And what I like is that it's got some color to it. It's not this bright white maple. It looks very natural. It doesn't look super artificially tinted. I really am curious what the finish is on the back of this neck, because it feels like a combination between an oil finish and a French polish. It has a little bit of texture to it. It's a little bit more matte. It's like a matte finish of some sort, but it feels really great. Thin neck, C-shaped, and a quick chord test on this. Oh, shoot. I lied. This one does have really fresh strings. Oh, I thought I'd tune this up. I didn't tune that before the stream. That's why we check. And if you're just tuning in, if you're watching here and you haven't said hello already, let me know where you're tuning in from, what guitar you're playing, and which one today you're most excited about seeing. I'd be curious about that because I might spend more time on that instrument if you comment. So this is a Vicente Carrillo double top. His top line from 2022. So listen to this. Pretty nice guitar with a really deep sound. Not a low main air resonance, but really fun to play. All nylon strings on this one too. It looks like Augustine Regals. And then last but not least, I'll be showing you a Richard Reynoso guitar, which I did feature last week as well, but it is a recent arrival, and I have new strings on it, and it sounds incredible. Richard Reynoso is American luthier based in California, and he's the finest craftsmanship of any luthier that I've seen that's living today. It is an incredibly beautiful guitar. His rosette is just to die for. The Brazilian rosewood on the back is like the finest you can get. Look at this. It is an incredible piece of Brazilian rosewood. And all these little details, that heel cap. I actually have already recorded a full video on this guitar that has not been released, but you see that little heel cap here? The headstock is carved like maybe a little homage to Friedrich, but like it's not the Friedrich typical carving. It just looks so great. Scheller tuners on this thing. And listen how it sounds. It's rich, a rich sound. But I'll tune it down to drop these like the others tune in like that. Do you just hear how rich of a sound that is? It doesn't get much better than this. I'm a lucky guy of getting to play these 5 guitars today for you. So yeah, this is a richer Reynoso. All 5 of these guitars are available. And only one of them is on the website. And I have full videos recorded on 3 of them, I believe. So you can inquire about any of these if you'd like. I always have a pile of emails to get to after these streams. So it's a really fun thing to look forward to on Tuesdays. But I'm going to be showing you 5 guitars today. I'm going to try to keep it to 1 hour. I think this makes, you guys tell me if this is more interesting for you. I mean, it is a pain to get out 5 guitars and station them around me and to like unpack them, pack them back up, make sure they're in tune and have good strings on them. But like, I think this makes for a more interesting live stream. And I get comments and emails and messages from you all saying, you know, these are something you watch after the fact. And so many of you watch these after the fact. So those of you that are watching later on, thanks so much for sticking with me through all this. And there's also timestamps. So you can go look at whatever part of the video, wherever I start talking about a specific guitar, you will be able to see in the timestamps or whatever they call them, chapters afterwards, to get an impression of these guitars. So one thing I'd like to say before I start, and then I'll look at some questions here too, is that one thing that I made the mistake of, I would say a little bit earlier on in my guitar hunt, you might call it, would be comparing volumes of guitars. And sometimes it's so hard to separate the volume of an instrument, the projection of the instrument, and then the tone qualities of it. It's very easy to pick the guitar that is louder as the better guitar. This is not often the case, right? It's the being loud is exciting and it's nice for a concert hall, but the guitar is a quiet instrument and it'll always be that way. And compared to like, you know, the trumpet or piano or cello or violin, anything. So be careful not to let that be too much of a deciding factor, especially when it comes to like comparing one after another in the videos. In fact, I don't really like the comparison thing. When maybe if it's one maker and 2 guitars, it's very interesting, but it's kind of tough. So just keep that in mind. You know, don't let that be the deciding factor. Try to separate that in your mind. I think it's a nice idea. Oh, what's up, Ivan from Singapore? Great to see you. Oh, you're excited to see the Walter and the Jose Vigil. Awesome. Veronica, what's up? Good to see you. She says she's watching the GFA live stream right now. Yeah, those of you that don't know, the biggest competition in the world is happening right now in Louisville, Kentucky. And there's so much amazing guitar playing to listen to. It's the preliminary round of the GFA finals. So not the finals, the GFA competition, the International Concert Artist Competition, which is one of the biggest prizes in classical guitar, financially, and also certainly the prestige of it, of winning that. It's like the biggest one that you can win. There's some other big ones prize money-wise, but this one you get a tour, money, and sponsorships, and the whole guitar world is kind of watching that one. So if you guys don't know about that, go check out, just search Guitar Foundation of America and check out the live streams in past ones. I mean, you're going to hear some amazing repertoire. They have like a list of the competitors and stuff, amazing stuff. So, and you're interested in Müller, I'll show you. Thanasis says, hello from Greece. Hey, awesome. We got some people all over the world. So far, we've got Italy, Greece, and the US. So what countries are we missing here, y'all? Do we have anyone else? Well, all right, without further ado, and for the sake of trying to keep this at an hour-long stream, I will start presenting some guitars for you here. And we'll just go in the order that I have it in the title and the description of the video today. We will start with the 2023 Walter, Stephen Walter guitar. We got Canada in the house. Drew, what's up, man? Cool. We're going to start with the 2023 Stephen Walter guitar. Steve's guitars I've known for a long time now. In fact, this one's a 2023, 10 years before this guitar was my first Steve Walter guitar I owned. These are some of the easiest play guitars in the world. Hands down, there's very few makers that compete in terms of the playability of the guitar. Not only is the neck shaped to like my exact preference, but also the raised fingerboard makes it so easy to play. Steve Walter's a very accomplished guitar player himself with a doctorate in performance. He actually won a prize in GFA back in his day, like a third, fourth prize, something like this at GFA. The competition that is going on right now. And so, you know, with this really high idea of playability, as a player, he also applies this to his guitar. So it's going to play immaculately. I've never had someone talk about a Steve Walter guitar and say, you know what? I love the way they sound, but I wish they played a little bit easier. No one will say that. They are incredibly easy to play, so it's such a safe bet. This guitar, there's no listing on the website yet, so if you're interested in it, please let me know. Okay, so what's to say about this guitar? It's 650 scale, standard scale length. It is a 53 millimeter nut width, so it's 1 millimeter wider, and it has a little bit wider string spacing. Other than that, it's very standard. Spruce top, lattice braced, his all-wood lattice bracing with his defined resonance area, and an Indian rosewood back and sides, with actually very little wear to it. There's a little bit of hazing right here where you rest your chest against the guitar, and the top might have a little mark here or there, but there's really not much. It's in pretty much mint condition. Scheller tuners with buffalo horn buttons and rollers. So nice. I've talked enough. Let me play a little bit on this. Isn't that something? The sustain is amazing. F. So nice. The colors. That's the other thing I find about Steve Walter's guitars I really like is that it sounds good to push into the guitar. And I don't really even necessarily mean play super loud. I just mean to like really dig into the string. I'm someone who really likes to move the string. You know, there's a way of playing that's also beautiful. I know many beautiful players that play this way too, but there's a way of just moving the tip joints of your finger, and maybe if I, instead of playing a chord like this, I might go like, and hope for a much bigger sound with just those little like fingertips moving. And certainly I adapt to that on instruments that require that type of touch. But really, it's something satisfying when you can push into the guitar a little bit. Let's play a little bit of Prelude 11 by Targa. say hello to Buddy the cat, who decided to jump up here during the stream. Whoa, here he is. No guitar scratching for you, sir. Well, there you go. It's a stream. That's what happens. But man, this guitar is sounding so nice. There are all these beautiful places to rest. Where the notes just bloom so easily. What a sound. Okay, I'm going to try to keep it shorter today. Like I said, this is a Stephen Walter guitar from the year 2023. It's lattice brace. It's available. Really a great sound to this one. It's got a spruce top, but it's not so white colored. You know, it's got a little bit of age to it. It has sound ports. I didn't even mention this, but these Ruck style sound ports that Steve puts on most of his guitars. Super nice. Always a pleasure to play these. They just carry the melody so well, like this Indecha by Targa. Wow. Okay, I'm going to set this one down and move to the next guitar. In between, I'll take a look at some questions here. Setting everything down gently. We've got Don, hello, tuning in from Northeast Florida. Special day for you over there. Dr. Seven says, happy birthday. Mine was on the 11th, so we're close. Hey, awesome. Happy birthday to you. Happy belated. My birthday was yesterday, the 16th, and had a lot of fun. I shipped out some guitars on my birthday, went on a run, ate some great food, hung out with friends. It was a nice day. It was hot out. Very, very hot. Okay, on to the next guitar here. The next one of the 5 guitar day is Dieter Müller, a double top by Dieter Müller. Based in Germany. He is a very famous double top maker. For those of you that do not know, his guitars are very similar to sound with Matthias Dahmen and these other group of lightweight, super loud double top makers that make very responsive, very loud guitars. This is a guitar of one of his most recent designs, his most recent design, where he changed his rosette, he changed his tie block design, he changed the headstock shape, which is now the Manuel Ramirez shape that so many of you are familiar with from, say, like Dahmen's guitars, or obviously Manuel Ramirez, if you are familiar. This is a Wingate fingerboard, which looks so beautiful. There is a full video, and this listing is on the website already, so you can check that out. I'll keep it brief with this, but it's a raised fingerboard, and as I talk, you hear this thing like talking back to you. It sounds like there's a speaker playing. You know, a recording back of what you're just saying. It's so responsive, and you can tell if a guitar is super responsive when you talk around it, even because you hear it vibrating. And so this is a powerhouse of volume, but it goes beyond that. It has incredible dynamic range, meaning its ability to be really, really quiet and really, really loud is extreme. You know, there's all sorts of levels to the dynamics. Listen to this. So a big contrast, I would say, to the Steve Walter guitar that we just played, and both are brilliant and different. This one requires very little touch. You do not need to push this guitar to get volume out of it. And in fact, when you push it a little bit too hard, the guitar tells you, hey, that's too much. And actually you have to adjust because this guitar is so loud. You don't need to push super loud to be able to get volume to come out of this. So your touch has to adapt. And when certain people sound really great on one guitar and not on another, and both are really great instruments, it's often for that reason, that their touch isn't adapting well. You know, if I play this thing as hard as I was just playing the Walter, this thing would sound like it's shouting. And it just doesn't deserve to be treated like that. It is very, very sensitive, very, very loud. You see, when I do this, I can tell the notes sound loud and vibrant and poppy, but if I really... It's getting too loud. I mean, there's a purpose for that as well, too. And it sounds pretty good on this guitar, but... That's a lovely mezzo forte to forte, right? Such a nice guitar. I mean, the volume just emits from this thing color. But you know what? It picks up on every little noise, and the super sensitive guitars will. So, you know, if you have bad nails or you feel like you don't really have a good control in your right hand, it may not be the guitar for you, really. It rewards great sound and it punishes poor sound. That's not to say that you won't enjoy it, but I'm just saying what this guitar is more meant for. It'd be sort of like someone saying, like, you know what, I want a nice, smooth ride, and I want the car to be easy to use and all of this stuff, and then them picking like a Ferrari or like a Lamborghini or something. It's like, that's not going to be some smooth ride. It's going to be a sports car, or, you know, some turbo going on. You need a Toyota Corolla or something, you know. Or no, maybe the better word there would have been, you need a Mercedes or something that's just going to, you know, be super smooth but also high end. This is a sports car. It's a sports car of a guitar. It's going to impress all your friends. You're going to feel super powerful in it, and you're probably going to get in an accident. Wow, it's so much fun though, right? I'll play a little bit of this in Decha by Targa. Give that one another take. You know, this is just so fun to explore different colors because of that responsiveness, it just turns on a dime. You notice I went like, it's just so clear as day how this brightens and clears up when I move my hand. Or how it warms up if I go, like this sounds sultry and dark, but still clear. And this sounds incredibly bright. And we're only a couple of inches apart. It's hard to explain, but like the balance is kept. Really, really fun to play. Let's play Prelude 11 by Targa. It's dreamy. Okay, I have to move on to the next guitar. I keep on liking this guitar more and more every time I pick it up. It's beautiful. It's Dieter Müller. Doubletop from the year 2025. This guitar is finished, gosh, only a few months ago. There's a couple of very tiny scratches in the top that are unfortunate because otherwise it's in 10 out of 10 condition. And I never ever say that. These scratches, there's one here, and if anyone's interested, I could send you exactly where they are. You know, any luthier could polish that out to the guitar. It's not really that big of a deal, but it is incredible. Scheller tuners. This thing's dressed to the nines, and yeah, it's ready for the next player. And this thing, someone's asking what strings. I'll tell you when I remember some of these, but this one has on Knobloch carbons, the active series across the whole guitar. This is actually what came on this guitar, so it's not something I put on here, but I think they sound great. Okay, what's up, Paul from Ann Arbor? Good to see you. Antonio from Zagreb. Special day for Don. Awesome. And thanks for the birthday wishes, y'all. Kareem and Ayasagul. Koka. Awesome. Good to see you all here. Let's move on to the next guitar. This next one, we are going to move to another part of Europe. This is a Jose Vigil guitar from Granada, Spain. Now, I have to admit, this is my very first time playing a Jose Vigil guitar, although I've heard many great things, rave reviews, many people telling me you've got to try these guitars out. Super cool. I think it looks great. Look at the rosette on this thing. Some of you that joined at the very beginning of the stream saw this, but check out that. It is so detailed. It's very lovely. And it's got a very traditional Spanish sound. The headstock are very nice. I love the shape of this, simple. Alessi tuners, very high quality. These are top-notch guitars. Indian rosewood back and sides, as you can see there. And this thing is in, hold on, let me look one more time before I say it. This thing is in flawless mint condition. There are no scratches, no string dings, no nail marks below on the soundboard there. It's really great. Now, let's see. We'll listen to this guitar for a moment and see what you all think. Sorry, I better tune. Gosh, I still have 2 guitars after this one to get to. I'm going to try to keep these things brief. So, Spanish guitar, Granada maker. Oh my gosh. And you know what? It's not Brazilian rosewood. It's a spruce top with Indian rose back and sides, but it's one of the best smelling guitars. Definitely the best one of today, smelling. It's one of those guitars that when you play it, I mean, it just you keep on smelling it. It smells so good. Really beautiful sustain on this one. You know what throws me off, and I'll talk about it here in a second, but there's a dot on the 10th fret of this one, which was made for the person who commissioned this guitar, but I hate it. I hate 10th fret dots. So if it were me and this guitar was mine, I'd cover this with something, maybe like I would have a luthier remove it, or I would put something maybe like a whiteout, but with black there, and put a dot here on the 12th and maybe the 9th or something. But yes, there's a dot on the 10th. If that's your cup of tea, then that's great. Not mine, but there's so many ways to get around that. And of course, you get used to it. In some ways, it makes sense because there's a dot here on B, and then the next one's also on a on an actual note D, instead of being on C sharp, where a lot of people put one on 9th. So yes, if you think B, C, D, that's kind of nice, but not my thing. But wow, the sound of this guitar it's huge. It's a huge sounding Granada guitar. And, I'm used to the sounds of like Antonio Marin Montero and some of these other Granada makers. And this might be the loudest of them. Now, I did just review an Antonio Marin Montero that was in the style of Miguel Rodriguez. That was a 660 scale guitar that was huge sounding. But that's a very unique Antonio Marin Montero that has that much volume. This is a 650 scale guitar. And this chunk in the bass is incredible. And it's got a lot of snap to the sound. I love this. Yeah, really cool. Let's try a little bit of Prelude 11 by Targa. Sustain. I swear I could play this piece at half speed and it would sound just as good with all the sustain of this guitar. I'll play just part of this piece at maybe more than half speed. Listen to this. Isn't that amazing? It's great sustain. And just a beautiful palette of colors. Let's speed up. Well, this is a special, special guitar. The sustain is incredible. The power is there. I mean, and not to mention, it's in brand new condition from the year 2024. I've got to believe this guitar was played very, very little. I mean, if I played this guitar, just this guitar, for a few months, I would definitely, even as careful as I am, I would definitely put a couple of little marks in the top. There's none on this guitar. There's no wear to the French polish. It's beautiful. Alessi tuners, these snakewood buttons are so, so nice. Jose Vigil, well, on my radar now, and will be on the website soon enough in the next month or so. I'm not sure exactly, but you definitely should check this one out. Write to me if you're interested. I doubt this one will be around very long. That could be said about a lot of these guitars. Hello, Angelica. Good to see you here. Nice colors. Oh, yeah. That is a very colorful guitar. Those of you that don't know Angelica's channel, you should check it out. She just posted a new video of, who is the composer? I can't think of the composer right now, but yeah, an awesome, awesome piece that she posted. It has wonderful guitars. Let's see. Next up, we have Vicente Carrillo. Now, this is another very interesting guitar coming from another Spanish maker. That being said, this is a double top supervised by the famous German maker Gernot Wagner, who, popularized the double top guitar along with Matthias Dahmen, of course. This guitar is their Maestro NX model, and it's a very high-end model, 2022. It's a Nomex double top, and ready for the kicker. This quilted maple back and sides, which is spectacular. There's some color to it too. As you can see, it doesn't look so artificial how tinted this back is. It's so nice. And with the spruce top, it just looks so perfect to me. I love the way this guitar looks, the way it feels too. It has all nylon strings on it right now, Alessi tuners. Looks like I have a tuner clipped to it right now. And for someone looking for the power of a double top, but really still a nice traditional Spanish sound to it, it doesn't get much better than this. Take off the tuner. So like say for instance, this compared to the Dieter Müller that I showed you a little bit ago, this isn't as loud, but it's also not quite as responsive. So if you want a guitar that, you're able to push a little bit more, for instance, and it responds better to being pushed, then this is a great choice. Really beautiful sounding guitar, and I have to say this maple back and sides, I really feel like you can hear the punch from the maple. It's what they talk about sometimes with maple. There's like a brightness and a punch to it. Boom, Let's listen to a little bit of this Endecha by Targa. For some reason, it sounds like, I can't think of the name of the piece. This. But I'm in the key of D, so I try to... Anyhow, wow, this thing is really exciting. Let's listen to a little bit of Prelude 11 by Targa. know, with all nylon strings on this guitar. These look like Augustine Regals to me. This is really something else. I mean, it's really fun to play this. Now, I actually just had in another one of these, Carrillo Gernot Wagner supervised, except it had Brazilian rosewood back and sides and a cedar top. This one's like the absolute opposite. It's a spruce top, double top, with maple back and sides, and both are so fantastic and appealing in different ways. This one might be a little bit more crisp and clear, and the other one has those typical cedar qualities. How about that? Wow. Okay. Well, this is Vicente Carrillo from the year 2022. Let me show you the details up close here. Sorry, I've done that for the rest of the guitars. You can see some of those motifs on the rosette are mimicked along the purflings of the guitar. And then that beautiful maple back and sides. Really, really nice. There's the Alessi tuners here. It's just pretty cool. I like these base plates. This isn't going to focus, so I should just give up. But let's see if I can get it to. Well, how boring is that? Also, oh my gosh, I took it away as it focused. How terrible. Well, I will give you the chance one more time, computer, camera. Oh, autofocus is on, but it wants to focus on my arm. So I'm so sorry about that. Angelica says, wonderful sound, nice bright tone color, but with power. Yes, I totally agree. Thank you, first off, for commenting, but I feel that same way. You could be a little bit rough with this guitar, which is really nice. I find it super appealing. Not on the website yet. Shoot me a message if you're interested. Only the Dieter Müller is on the website right now, although several of these guitars I've recorded a full video on, so you will be able to see. If you write me a message, I can even send you a draft of it. Brian says, hello from LA, joining late, but we'll review beginning later. Awesome. Hey, well, thanks for joining. I've only got one guitar left here to share. But yes, those of you that are watching later, you can always use timestamps. Also, I'd like to know at the end of this, don't tell me now because there's still one more guitar, but which ones were your favorites and why? I would love to hear that. Just curious if it matches up with me and just your thoughts on these different guitars. Also, it's so interesting from the other side. Sometimes I listen back to the videos I make and I'm like, oh, wow, this guitar sounds even better than in front than behind. And then, to be honest, sometimes my favorite guitars don't sound as good in the recordings. And I'm like, what's going on here? So it's just very interesting how it goes. But truthfully, the thing that matters the most is how you feel with the guitar, not really how well it records or how other people like it. And boy, is that a learning curve. Okay, last but certainly not least is what I will call a masterpiece by the American luthier Richard Reynoso. This guitar was built in 2023. He is a craftsman of craftsmen. This guitar is just so beautiful to me. I mean, just saying my own personal preference. Everyone has their own ideals, but this is a beautiful looking guitar. First off, the rosette is something else. So much detail. The label, very minimal. I love it. It says Richard Reynoso 2023. And then when you take a look at the back and sides here, it is a spectacular set of Brazilian rosewood. This is the real good stuff. It has color to it, although it's subtle, very straight, an incredible set of Brazilian rosewood. And look at this little heel cap here. My favorite feature, maybe aesthetically, of the guitar. What a beautiful thing to look at when you're playing the guitar. Of course, it's very similar to the rosette here at the front. This guitar is actually 655 millimeters, so 5 millimeters longer than the normal scale length. And then look at the head of the guitar. Do you see this carved head design? Almost like an homage to Daniel Friedrich, but of course nothing alike in terms of like the shape of the carving. But I just love the texture that gives the guitar. Without it being an inlay or something funny like that, it's this beautiful texture. I mean, it's matte finished head, matte finished bridge here. The tie block, just a plain white bone here. A saddle with plenty of room to adjust. And then the back of the neck. Look, there's all sorts of things on this guitar. The back of the neck is black. And it's never something I would pick. But somehow on this guitar, when it's in front of me, I think, yep, that's perfect for this guitar. It's, you know what, for me, everyone has different favorites of guitars and stuff, but for me, though, it's those guitars that surprise you with the choices in the best way that are super exciting. You know, whether it's in sound or aesthetics, it's like, I would never have picked this if it was like you know, if you were to lay out a spec sheet in front of me, I would have never picked that. But now that it's there, I'm surprised by it and I love it. And there's something modern and cool about it, and refined. I don't know. You know, it's one of those things. You tell me if you guys agree. Am I being over the moon, over the top about all this? So this is Richard Reynoso. Now, it's a fan brace design, not totally traditional. There's a lot of other things going on in there. Lots of volume on this guitar. It's nowhere close to as loud as the double tops or lattice brace guitars I showed today, but the projection and the character of the sound really comes forward. So I want you to listen to this. There is a grumble in the bass that lasts forever. Like when you hit a chord on a piano in your left hand, and it's a power chord, maybe you're playing C, G, in an octave C or something. And then maybe you're holding down the pedal. You get that feeling on the guitar. But without losing the sound of the guitar, of like the classical, the Spanish guitar, you know. And it's not all, it's not all just bass, you know. It's just so much fun to play, fun to drive, and maybe I'll play a little bit of this Indica. I just feel like I could control this guitar so well. And the balance is so nice on it. I was trying to figure out what it is. I love this area. It's clear. How about a little bit of Prelude 11 by Targa? Wow. I'm going to play a little bit more of that, but I need to tune once more. So what do you guys think of this one? I say Angelica says the head is a matter of taste. Yeah, definitely. This is an out there design. I mean, some people are not going to like this at all. I love this, but it's yeah, it's different guitars for different folks. Dalton, what's up? Keep up the good work on the channel. Hey, thanks so much, Dalton. Sorry. Loving this guitar. Full of power, lots of reverberation. Do you have to dampen it? Oh, good question, Angelica. You mean like lots of different sympathetic vibrations on this one? You know, the bass is certainly, because these rumble on for so long. You know, but I don't know, I do feel like there are certain notes that really light up the rest of the guitar. I don't really find myself having to dampen so much, but yeah, you know, compared to your Domins and these guitars, for certainly not quite as fundamental heavy as those. But anyways, my gosh, this is... There's something I wanted to try. And now I can't remember what it was. I know it was maybe a little bit. How nice. It's a lovely guitar. Oh, I know what I'm going to try. What is it? This Ponce. Yeah, really beautiful. How about a little Scherzino Mexicano? No, I don't know that one, but I have played that in the past. I love that piece. Drew's commenting on the slick slurs. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. It's a party trick that I don't know why I got obsessed with kind of doing. You mean so, Evan? I got obsessed with doing this idea once where I was going 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2. And so naturally some of the slurs would land on down piece, so it'd be like 1. So then I end up practicing this type of thing a lot. So it works well on pieces like Capriccio Arabe. But now, admittedly, I kind of forget starting on the 6th string. Yeah, I can't. I don't remember it as well, but trying to keep it at 16th notes. So, what piece is that? Oh, Brian W asked what piece was that? That was Ponce Prelude 5, I think. If you listen to Ponce's 24 Preludes, you'll find this one. It's in the first 7 for sure. Something like that, but really nice fitting piece for this guitar. Wow. Okay, I think I'll leave it there. We're just past the hour. I've shown you 5 guitars today. This is a record for a live stream for me. But thank you guys so much for watching. I've got an incredible video releasing tomorrow of actually David Russell's old Karsten Cobb's guitar, which I had the pleasure of representing and now has already found a new owner. That video, releases tomorrow, and the listing on the website and everything. And there'll be a recent arrivals video made with these guitars and maybe a couple of more. Coming very soon, possibly Wednesday or Thursday. And gosh, thank you all so much for tuning into this live stream. I had a lot of fun, lots of comments, people from Turkey, Italy, Germany, Canada, Greece. Pretty cool. People from everywhere here. So very nice to see you all. Thank you so much for the comments, you all, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you're watching this days later, hours later, leave a comment. Let me know you've watched. And Thank you. Thanks, Angelica. Thanks, Dennis. Thanks, Dalton. Nice guitar, Brian. Thanks, everyone, for being here. And have a good rest of your week. Bye-bye.